Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, here in Mordona, where last time we got ourselves a set of imperial armor to disguise ourselves, and now let's see what follows next in our plan to rescue Minfilia and the others. Good work getting my imperial duds. You'll be pleased to hear I ain't been idle myself. Took me long enough, but I finally hatched a plan as to get us a suit of Magitek armor. Now, from what I've seen, Custom Sentry deploys a Reaper for most of its patrols. Trouble is, the patrols themselves are irregular, meaning random routes and random deployments, and hardly any of them come anywhere near Revenant's Hall. So, hoping to coax the Imperials out of their shells, I took the liberty of feeding them a bit of old false intelligence. Told them insurgents had designs on their stronghold. Right, we overheard the Imperial soldiers talking about an anonymous tip that insurgents mean to attack the custom and so on. It ain't far from the truth now I come to think of it. Anyway, we should start seeing more patrols than we have up to now. What you need to do is approach one of these patrols, dress up in your shiny tin suit, and alert them to the enemy's presence. Having done that, you want to lure them as near to Revenant's Hall as you can. Like as not though, they'll be wary of venturing far from their own walls. If they do need a bit of encouragement, use the smoke signal here. Filched fresh from an Imperial scout. They'll come running when they see that, and when the cavalry arrives, you hit them hard and make off with a Reaper. Simple as that. If I ain't mistaken, there's a patrol sweeping the perimeter right now, so run along, eh? Oh, and don't forget to salute. Okay, you stupid thing, I kill you if I can't avoid you. Oh, another patrol, are you? When next you see your commanding officer, tell him that he leads a sloppy unit. If any of my lot forgot to salute a superior officer, they would be on their ass faster than you'd say latrine duty. I'm sorry, sir. Carry on, soldier. Insurgents going to the east, you say? Judging by your description, they are well beyond the perimeter. But I will not have said that I was remiss. You, return to the scene and keep an eye on those insurgents. Should aught go awry, use your smoke signal to call us. Okay, let's wear some proper armor. I hope you don't mind my joining. Seeing as we're seizing advanced weaponry, I thought it best to be on hand. Ah, there she is. This is the place, but where's the enemy? Sir, over there! Send in the Reaper, let's make an example of these insurgents. Keep hitting the Reaper till it stops moving. Put down all the foot soldiers, then concentrate on the Reaper. Few stretches can't be helped. Hostiles detected! Engaging! Not easy being an engineer. Damn it, the armor's gone into overdrive. If you value your life, stay out of its sight. Ha! That did the trick. At last, our very own suit of Magitek armor. I'm not wishing to look a gift chocobo in the beak. It does seem rather the worse for wear, doesn't it? Big Switch, what's your honest assessment? Well, there's the fact that she's smoking, of course. But looking past that, I'd say she's structurally sound. I don't like the way these legs are buckled. Hate to say it, but the servo mechanism may be damaged. Eh? But aren't those things protected by thick armor plate? They are, yes. It's odd. The casing doesn't seem to have taken a blow. I suspect we're dealing with a faulty part. Well, whatever it is we're dealing with, we're not resting till it's fixed. Not one wink of sleep. You got that, Wedge? Oh, cut chocobo. I heard that a hall has been set aside for us in Revenant's Toll. That's where we'll carry out the repairs. Look for us, Verwild. I wonder, is that the only way for Lalafell to mount such a thing? To be thrown into them? I don't know, how's it going? In the wake of a calamity, the 14th Imperial Legion occupied what remained of Castrum Novum and eventually rebuilding and renaming it Castrum Century. The stronghold contains immense manufacturing and storage facilities as a primary supply of material for Imperial forces stationed throughout Eorzea. Consequently, it's heavily defended. Infiltrating will not be easy. Nevertheless, it's necessary. The Magitek armor. Send the others to get inside. Go on in and join them. What do you think, Chris? She's a beauty, isn't she? We've now had time to take a closer look at the Reaper. Our preliminary diagnosis was correct. She is structurally sound, but her servo mechanism is faulty. You needn't worry though, Biggs and Wedge will see her restored to her former glory in no time at all. Give those two something to mend, and they will think of naught else till the job is done. It is a marvelous thing to behold, provided you remind them to visit the privy. And I learned Shock. Yeah, right. I can't kick a weapon out like that. Every little thing she does is Magitek. The repairs are proceeding apace. It shouldn't be long now before Biggs and Wedge complete their work. There is, however, one small problem. As you may recall, the Machina's servo mechanism was discovered to be faulty. Wedge has subsequently ascertained that the Magitek core which drives it is worn beyond use. Such cores are rather fragile devices which must be replaced at regular intervals. Thanks to the negligence of our imperial colleagues, however, this one was long overdue. Alas, we do not have access to a ready replacement here in Mordona. But all is not lost. Wedge thinks he may have identified an alternate solution. Go and see him, would you? He'll explain the details to you. As I believe the chief has already informed you, the Magitek core is worn beyond use. We need to find a replacement. I thought about having you appropriate more Reapers, but even if the Dunderhead maintenance engineers in Custom Sentry had to remember to replace their cores, we must risk arousing Imperial suspicion. But do not despair, for I believe there is a solution. To substitute a Magitek core with a mammoth heart. In case you don't know, a mammoth heart can be used to grant sentience to an automaton. By my reckoning, such a device should be more than capable of regulating the armor's servo mechanism. We'll just need to make some minor modifications to the housing unit. I've already placed an order for a first-rate mammoth heart with a goldsmith's guild. All that remains is for someone to go to Ulda and collect it. Oh, and pay for it? Did I mention how much they cost? No? Well, they typically cost something in the order of... I hope you don't mind footing the bill. It's for a good cause. Hello, Miss Serendipity. Hello there. Come to collect a mammoth heart, you say? Then you must be here on behalf of Garland Ironworks. I've taken the liberty of picking the finest example we have. A heart fit for a prince among mammoths. Payment? Oh, that won't be necessary. The heart is for Master Alphino's personal use after all. He notified us a short while ago that his manservant would be coming to collect it. Tender in years though he may be, Master Alphino has been a benefactor of ours since my predecessor's time. The Goldsmiths Guild wouldn't dream of charging him. But here's the mammoth heart. May serve you well. Oh, and please do pass on my compliments to your master. I let it slide, Alphino. For the sake of secrecy and convenience. Alphino still has no comment about his own actions. Do you have a mammoth heart? Can't wait to see if it works. Rare! Thank you so much. But, wow, this is magnificent. It must have cost an emperor's ransom. Free of charge, courtesy of Alphino. Coming from an influential family certainly has its advantages. But without further ado, let's give it a try. I've already modified the housing unit, so it should slot right in. There, she's ready. Magitek armor, engage! Or not. She just needs a loving tap, I wager. Yes, she's alive! Let's take her outside and put her through her paces. Would you care to do the honors? Hop into the pilot seat. We'll begin as soon as you're ready. First, I'd like you to try climbing that tangle of crystals yonder. As far up as you can go, if you please. Oh, and if you for some reason need to dismount, simply come back here and we start again. Just be a bit careful not to pull everything here because there are mobs here. No anomalous movement evident from either leg. Good. Next, jump back down and then sprint north. Quick as you can. Leg joints absorbing all impact without incident. Excellent. Please make their way backward. Now I was careless, of course. The torso remains stable, doing vigorous motion. Excellent. That concludes our test. Thank you for your cooperation. Here's a summary of my findings. The drivetrain is in sound condition. With some fine-tuning, we can expect a noticeable improvement in performance. As for the servo mechanism, I'm afraid it's not nearly as responsive as it should be, and I'm at a loss to explain why. The mammoth heart is in pristine condition and should be installed correctly. Perhaps its inner workings are simply too different to operate harmoniously with the armor's other mechanisms? Whereas Magitek cores serve only to conduct impulses, mammoth hearts enable automata to process the information collected by the sensors as feelings. Maybe she just doesn't feel like part of a team? In which case, we should do our best to make her feel welcome. Emote welcome Magitek armor. Clicked. I take it that suggestions given you a pause. Well, I don't blame you. The lad does have some other unorthodox ideas. Still, orthodoxy did not give us language, tools, clothes, or machina. Short of a better idea, I don't suppose it would hurt to try. After that third, I gave it my best. I welcomed myself to a bloody standstill. What were you expecting it to do anyway? Bob us a curtsy? No doubt you're wondering why the servo mechanism is so important as to warrant this silliness. Without it, the pilot would be required to control the armor's every movement manually. This would be an onerous task at the best of times and wholly impractical during battle. Using a mammoth's heart in place of a one Magitek core seemed a promising solution. Alas, the device does not appear to be compatible with Garlean technology. Wedge, are there no other ways we might demonstrate our appreciation to our friend here? I'm at my wit's end, Chief. She just doesn't seem convinced. We could try a little dance, perhaps? Or cheer our heads off? Imperials, they've come for the armor! Damn it, we have us cornered. Where's the Reaper? Take me the traitor Garland, and is that the Icon Slayer? Oh, bollocks. Call for reinforcements. The hells you will. We've located the stolen Reaper, requesting immediate assistance. Respond. Respond! No, you sir. There's some sort of interference. Curse you, Garland. No matter, if we can't reclaim it, destroy it. Bloody Erzwild, protect the armor at all cost. Cannot suffer the enemy to use our weapons against us. You're not undoing our hard work. They're on their own. We can take care of them. Oh no, she's taking damage. Not for long she won't. Chief, look, she moved. And now she gains the graces with her presence. It took us a good while, but we're finally ready. Time to infiltrate Custom Sentry and rescue our comrades. There, the finishing touch. The emblem of Garland Ironworks. To mark our secret weapon here, our infiltration tool. That is not a good idea. What do you think, Wit? She's a beauty, isn't she? Ever seen an Ironworks engineer at work? Well, you're in for a tweet then. Stand back and enjoy the show. The server mechanism is now fully operational, and all it took was a simple fight to the death. Remind me not to install a Mummel's heart aboard the Enterprise, would you? Much as I love her, I would rather not be required to profess it before boarding. But enough of that, let us see to our final preparations. Thanks to Biggs and Wedge, the Reaper is good as new. We're as prepared as we are like to get. Mount speed in Modona increased. I start with dialogue, so we can start down in front of Custom Sentry next time directly. How go your preparations with it? We leave as soon as you're ready. Lamont, you came. Aye. Thought I'd give you a little roaring send-off. Tis the least I can do for the fine men and women what are about to make my lifelong wish come true. Well, we'll do our best. It occurs to me, for all the help you've afforded us, we know little and less about you. What did the Empire do to earn your ire? But I fear I put my curiosity before consideration. I quite understand if you'd rather not relive those memories. No, I don't mind really. Truth be told, a part of me was itching to tell you my tale. Mind you, 'tis hardly novel. I ain't the first to suffer at Imperial hands. Like most folk, I used to have a mother. She was a sweet, caring woman, with a smile never far from her face. There was a sister too. Pretty little thing she was, gentle as a lamb, but tough as nails. We were poor folk, living simple lives, but we knew happiness just the same. And then the Imperials came and took it all away. When Alamigo fell, they put my family in a camp. Being a lad, I was made to do hard labor, when my mother and sister were forced to do far worse. They hid their suffering from me as best they could, but I knew, and the thought of it drove me mad. We had to escape, and so I hatched a plan to get us out of the city. We were picking our way around a gorge not far outside the walls, and they caught up with us. And rather than allow ourselves to be taken again, my mother and sister leaped over the edge before my very eyes. Heartbroken as I was, I didn't even put up a fight as when the Imperials clapped me in chains and dragged me back. It was some years after that I escaped again, and that time I got away. I swore then that I'd get revenge on the Empire, and became an adventurer so as to own my skills and earn the coin I needed. But nigh 2 decades have since gone by, and whatever I achieved, bugger all, that's what. Not like you, Lord. You ain't been here 10 minutes and you've already done more than I managed in 10 bloody years. You give us too much credit, Lamont. We seek only to rescue our friends. Well, what's more important than that? And anyway, after you got your friends back, you're planning on going after the Empire, and don't pretend you ain't. I've helped a few folks take on the Imperials over the years, and every time I have, it helped stave off my appetite for revenge. And Summer tells me I won't be going hungry for a while, what with everything you've got planned. And you're sure that will satisfy you? If you wish to strike back at the Empire with your own hand, you need only say the word. We would be glad to have you with us. Tempting what the offer is, I'm afeard I must decline. I swore I'd get revenge on the Empire, it is true, but I've long since realized that the front lines are no place for a man like me. Aye, there's some that could call me craven, but I prefer to think of myself as a realist. My talents lie in scheming, you see, not swordplay. Helping folk like you is how I can make the most difference. But that's quite enough storytelling for one day. Best not keep your friends waiting any longer. I'll be praying for your safety and success. May Welga give you strength. Wherever the Empire goes, misery invariably follows in its wake. For the sake of all who call Eorzea home, we must put an end to Gaius' ambitions. But first we have our friends to rescue. Biggs, Wedge and I will lie in wait east of Custom Sentry, just outside the Stronghold's patrol perimeter. Join us when you're ready. Oh, and don't forget to wear your disguise, or this will be the shortest rescue mission in history. And with that I end this episode. Until next time when we meet in front of Custom Sentry. I am Ace, and don't get lost.